Okay, we're looking at Introduction to Transformations, lesson 67 today. So, what is a transformation? Well, it's a change in position, size, or shape. Position, size, or shape is a transformation. Translations, reflections, rotations are special classes of transformations called isometries. So let's practice saying this word. Isometries. Isometries. Come on, everyone. Isometries. Okay. The original figure in a transformation is called your pre-image. So the image that you start with is your pre-image. And the shape that results is called the image. So you have your pre-image and your image. A lot of definitions and vocab. So you start with your pre-image, and your final result is called your image. So an isometry is a transformation that does not change the size or shape. So what does that mean about the pre-image and the image? If they don't change size or shape, what are they? Congruent. An isometry is also called a congruence transformation or rigid transformation. So some people, instead of saying isometry, they'll call it a congruence transformation or rigid transformation. A congruence transformation because the images are congruent. Rigid transformation, think of something that's rigid, it doesn't move, it stays in the same shape, the shape doesn't change, it just gets moved from one place to another. It's the same thing, just different terms for them. So, do you see the small little tick mark right here? They're called a prime, and it is used to label your image. The pre-image is UTV. We started with this figure. And then our pre-image was moved over here to make our image, U prime, T prime, V prime. So anytime you take a pre-image, once you move it, you have to rename it using the primes. You'll see how that works? Okay. So a translation or a slide shifts or slides every point the same distance in the same direction. What happens if you slide one way or another? What's happening to my body? It's all going in one direction, right? I'm still staying together. Okay? So we took our image and we just slid it down. And so now instead of J, K, L, and M, what are our points labeled? J prime, K prime, L prime, and M prime. Yeah, if you moved it twice, then it would be a double prime. Okay? Looking at a reflection or a flip. Hopefully you've heard of a reflection before. You've seen a reflection. I know the girls have. Boys may never look at their reflections. But it's a transformation across a line, which is called your line of reflection. And the line is perpendicular, and it bisects each segment that joins the point to its image. If we drew a line from B to B prime, it is perpendicular to this line of reflection, and those distances are the same. Same thing with C. These are perpendicular, and the distances are the same. And that's always going to be the case on a reflection or a flip. Think about in the mirror. When you look at a normal mirror, is your face the exact same or is it changed? It's the exact same, right? A normal mirror, it's going to be the exact same. So when it's reflected, it's the exact same thing. Okay? Any questions on reflection? All right. Looking at the third type that we're going to look at today, rotation or turn. It's a transformation about a point which is usually called your center of rotation. And it's a turn such that each point and its image are the same distance from that point. And the angles formed by a point, its image, and the point of rotation are congruent. This definition seems a little strange. But what it's saying, the distance from here to here and the distance from here to here are the same. Do y'all see that? The distance from A to A prime to the vertex are the same. This angle right here is the same as that angle there. And the same as that angle there. And I could draw another one for C, but the angles are all going to be the same. Y'all see how that works? Alright, so we have 3 pictures that we want to figure out the type of transformation illustrated. So what is this picture up here on the left? Why is it a rotation? It started here, and then we turned it about 180 degrees. Why wouldn't it be a slide? Can I take this first pre-image and slide it onto the other one? Okay. Why not a reflection? Is A over here? B would have to be over here. A and B are kind of flip-flopped, so it would have to be a rotation. Okay? Let's look at this one at the bottom. What is it? Why a reflection? They took it and flipped it. Okay? What about this last one? A slide? Because you can take that top pre-image and slide it onto the bottom image. Now see how that works? This is a, what is it? Rotation. Because you take it and you turn it to get there. All right? So we're actually going to practice. We want to rotate the figure about point L. Do you see this little arrow here? That's where it wants you to turn it. It wants you to take it and turn it that direction. So who wants to try? Okay, so the end of the arrow has to be connected where? Where? To LJ. Why to LJ? Yeah. Do you see where it starts here? So that point needs to be right there. Why does L have to connect to each other? It's the point of rotation. So that point doesn't move. Okay, that's better. Okay.
So stupid. What? Hey, y'all don't get up to come do the show talk.
A lot better. Do y'all see how that works? Okay. Somebody's got to translate the figure. So someone else has to come translate a figure. That is a P. You agree? All right. Let's try another one. We want to reflect it across line FG. So who wants to try and reflect it? It says across FG. And H. H. Does that look pretty close? So it said across FG. So if I had drawn my picture over here, you know what? If I had done it like that, would that be okay? Why not? FG is our line of reflection, so it has to actually touch FG. Okay? So if you'd drawn it with, separation in between, it would be marked wrong. Even if everything else looked great, even if you had traced the picture, it would still be wrong. Okay? All right. So let's look at another example. Often, stained glass designers use vertical or horizontal symmetry to reduce the time it takes to design a project. It says, reflect this template across the vertical line AB. So how would we reflect it? So, go get started. You don't have to do the whole thing. We're not going to do the whole thing. I just want to make sure y'all understand the idea of reflections.
That's what they made. Well, just garbage. Carol.
Do y'all agree with that part? Okay, who wants to go do a little bit more? You don't have to do the whole thing, you just got to do some of it.
Oh.
Do you agree? All right, who wants to go work on some more? Four of you haven't gone to do anything. You're going to have to go at some point.
Somebody go. I want to get this over with.
Pants pocket? Did my pants? Oh,
Did your pants
my pants.
You serious?
Yes, my mom got thrown in the seat. And
Well, this would make it Sean, is it bad?
You can't see what I see. It just rips his pants pocket apart.
Aww. Okay, those are probably yours.
Well.
No, just yeah.
Yeah, your mom can fix that. Or your grandmother.
Take your wallet out. What do you mean in that like that? It looks like it's good, but hold it in.
Yeah, your pants can't rip as bad as mine did last Saturday. Right.
Good job. All right, any questions on that one? All right, so identify the type of transformation.
Translation moving.
Which is a translation or a slide. Okay? So someone has to go reflect rectangle DEGF across the line GF. I did them in the wrong order again, I think. Yep. So who wants to go reflect it? Yes.
No. It comes on every time. Like, I don't know what to do. Just leave it on.
All right, what is she missing? You got to do little primes. Do you see how they have a prime on their Y? You got to put a little prime here. And you got to do F, you got to do a G prime. Like G prime, and then you have to do an F prime. Okay? Y'all see how that works? All right. Looking at another one. Someone has to go rotate it clockwise about point Q. And it says so that Q prime and P prime are on the same line as QR.
Like, I got ready to go.
Probably both. Trace it once and then do the new. Okay, any questions on this one? All right. So do we need to practice completing a translation? What is a translation? A slide. Okay. So the challenge question is to reflect that triangle across A and then across B. So who gets to go?
Well, Sarah's the only one having gone.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Reflect the triangle off A. So, you guys want to know? He's a teacher. Okay. 6 months. I'm in, not like.
There aren't any labels, so you don't have to do any tick marks. You don't have to label it. You don't have to label it. So now I've got to go across B.
Okay.
Not quite. You reflected the first one pretty well.
Write that little note on the test as you're drawing it. Pretend it's the same size. Draw not the scale.
Close enough. Close enough. Okay. Good. All right. All right. And then. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Y'all see how that works? Will you have questions that ask you to do that? Yes. Any questions on translations, transformations, rotations, reflections? All right, when is your homework due? Why Monday? Okay, good.